episode of the Self Development with Tactics podcast. And today we're yet again gonna model something. This time it's gonna be in Grasshopper / Rhino, which is quite similar to Houdini, I would say. Not as intuitive and not as easy to, I think, create things, especially when it comes to some really experimental design and stuff like that and simulations. At least with my knowledge, at least with how much I've been using Grasshopper and so on and so forth. But I would argue that it is way more deliberate. So when I'm willing to do something, then it's also probably going to be more precise because I'm quite familiar with Rhino itself and the precision that I'm able to achieve there, and so on and so forth. So there's always like some upsides and some downsides. But I'm gonna show you both of them. There is Grasshopper, which is quite interesting that I can only view it in a certain mode here in Streamlabs, which is weird, but it's okay. And there we have Rhino in the back, and it actually is like really how I wanted it to be. What if I'm doing this? Is then no. Okay. So I should make sure that everything is on the left-hand side that I kind of need. Okay, that is good. So we're gonna do it like this, I would assume. And we're gonna delete what I've done yesterday out of maybe not really fun, but that I did. Let's put it like that. I would actually like to have this thing there. Well, never mind. I guess that we're gonna start with maybe we are indeed gonna start with a surface. Can I make a surface in here too? Subdivide surface points. Neu on surface, there's many things. Well, I'm gonna start with this one, and we are gonna do it like maybe it's gonna be a triangle. Oh, I have the grid snap on. This is why it's bothering me so much. I guess that I want to have something like this, and we're also gonna go into shaded to see what is going on, and this is definitely not what I want to like or want to have. So we're gonna go into the top and do something like this, I guess. And now it is a polycurve. I don't want to have a polycurve. So I want to have this, and we're gonna plug it into here, and now it is fine. And this is planar as well. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do today, by the way. I really don't know. But we're gonna skip through all of those things that I'm having here, and we will see, I guess. So maybe there's something that we can do with parakeet. Maybe there's something that we can do with pufferfish and tweening those surfaces. Maybe I'm gonna twist this surface. This is the axis, so let's set a line. Let's do it rather random, and let's see what we're getting here. Okay, this is apparently what we're getting. Looks kind of good, I think, already. I do like it. The angle is maybe please work and please don't crash. Okay. So apparently this is definitely not easy on Grasshopper. But we could also just use that and see what happens when we're doing that. The question is, does this even work? Because I don't really know. So maybe we're gonna go to 10 or something, which is still already quite a bit, to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this. I'm also gonna transform this, transform an object geometry, and we're going to use the set units, which I think should work. I never indeed know, and no it doesn't. From vector to transform. So there should be another one here, I think. There should be a move one, because I don't want to have it here on the ground. Move to plane, move. So this, okay, this works. And there we go. But the question is, I just want to let this be displaced, and maybe we just do it like this for the sake of being faster. Let's see if you can see everything. Yes, you indeed can. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. Let's see where we are. There we go. Let's see whether we can tween it in Pufferfish. I think the last few times that I've tried, it really didn't work out because of whatever reason. Tween two surfaces, tween two consecutive surfaces, tween through surfaces. We could also do that along a curve. So we might indeed do that. We might indeed do that. I guess that I'm just gonna pick those points, maybe, and then we are gonna do it like this. I guess I would assume that this is a tiny bit faster. I don't know what this is gonna work to, or whether it is gonna work, or maybe something like this, and this one should be a bit higher too. So I don't know what this is, but I think it's fine. So maybe there's something interesting. So we're gonna tween two, so this is surface A and this is surface B. This is a guide curve to tween along, best it flowing from surface 1 to B, and this is optional second curve. Okay, so we're gonna use the curve, and we're gonna set one curve, which is this one, and we're gonna plug it into here, and let's see what is happening. Let's see what is happening. This is the factor probably, tween factor, the refit, and there is a point sample. Maybe we're gonna plug this in and see what is happening there. I think it is from 1 surface 1, so from 1 to 0. What if I guess that when I'm plugging in a range here, and I'm plugging in the range to the factor, and I want to have 10 in between, yes, I'm getting my 10 surfaces that are maybe 10 is a bit extreme, but 3. I don't, maybe this has something. I can't really see, to be honest. I don't really see whether this is something of value here, if this has something. But also, it would be nice to be able to alter the distance between all of them. But I don't really see that this is happening. I mean, maybe, just maybe, if I'm going like really extreme with this. Okay, this was not really extreme. Something like this, maybe. That, first of all, something more interesting is happening. But second of all, maybe let's do this to 2, please. Okay. Well, 2 is actually 2 is actually not nice. So let's go back to 3 again. And you know, maybe actually we're gonna work with that one. Let's see what this looks like baked, just out of curiosity. I mean, it has something. I don't want to say that I like it. I think it is kind of cool. I'm now thinking I should probably work with the component rather than like the baked geometry. So we're gonna go back again. And let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do with surfaces in general. We might actually indeed use this surface, the very beginning one, and tween it to, well, not tweening it, but twist boxing it to the new surface to, you know, get some sort of tessellation there. I don't know if this is cool. I don't know if this is great. I don't know if it is even useful. We might also do some Weaverbird shit. We might also do some Wasp thing. But for the Weaverbird tiles are mesh faces based on the lateral proportion, mesh from lines into a mesh. So the question is, what am I getting out here? Surfaces. Okay, can I deconstruct prep here? Can I do this? Yes, it does that. So I could also use the edges, lines. Why don't you like this? Is 2 or less Weaverbird is unable to process a valid because of this processing exception. What if I, sometimes for some reason I feel like that from curve to line, can I use a curve? Can I do this? No. But can I do that? No, I can't. So the question is, what if I deconstruct or explode? Explode? When I explode a curve, I should get segments, and those segments should be lines, I think. I might have been wrong there. I might have indeed been wrong, yes. From curve to line. This is a segment. This is a segment. Can't I also... I can indeed also do this. I didn't know about that. I really didn't know. Anyway. So we might also remesh that, but most often this is kind of a task that I dislike because things crash. Join meshes and weld. Unify face swings. Dual graph computes the weak dual of the mesh. Amazing. Transform. Mesh thicken. We can also thicken it then, which is actually good or great to have. We might also just go through and see what we're having here, because I have like 2 plugins or something. actually at this point way too many, because I don't know what does, and I'm definitely not going to use all of them. But I like experimenting with new things, and I like seeing new things. What is this? This is Lunchbox. We might actually also do something with Lunchbox. Panel frame. Create an offset frame using a panel. There we have panels. Can I? Oh, I do indeed plug in surfaces here. So that is amazing. I've actually always been using it with a mesh, and I hated it. So this is basically also a tessellation there. So we might also use something more interesting. Create a diamond corner point grid on a surface. We might also use these. Nope. And see what we're getting here. Panels A, and we're having panels B. What can we do here? Rebuild surface, mesh reduce. Unroll prep, mesh edges. Okay, interesting. Workflow, machine learning, there is as well, for whatever reason. And we might constant quad subdivide creates an offset frame using a panel. We might actually panel. Please don't crash. I see. I see, and I really do like what I see. I really do like what I see. The only thing that I then have to do is, and I don't know, I think offsetting it, because I do want it to have a bit of a thickness, because nothing in real world is like just, you know, paper thin, quote unquote. Also, the paper has a certain width, I guess. So let me just, what is this? Scale factor. Okay, interesting. So this is what that does. We might also subdivide it. A quad surface. And there is also some Y's. The component will return polylines. Do I want to have polylines? I actually don't know. The question is, when I'm baking this, this should not actually have any whatever. What if I'm getting this and that's, I'm just getting the frames. When I'm getting the panels, I'm getting the inside. So what does that mean for me? What it means for me is that maybe I am going to extrude the panel different from the frame. So we might actually as well duplicate that and do it like this. I might actually also tessellate this one again. So to maybe get an hexagon. Or maybe we're not gonna make it a hexagon, but no, but maybe indeed something like this. Unless it doesn't work, but yes, it does work. The question is, do I even see that? I probably do not even see it. Extrude. So let's extrude that thing. I could actually also do this by hand, which may be faster, especially when this doesn't work. Distance 20. Let's see what it does. Oh no, this is the direction. I do actually just want it to be normal, but I've not figured out yet. Normal. Plane normal. Origin of plane. I might actually also, what is this? Z-axis and the origin. I might actually also use the vertices there and do this. And we're gonna put in 100 or something. Does this work? No. The Z unit. What is it? There we go. So this should actually work. But the question is it doing it normal? And why isn't it doing anything? I want it to be big. Well, there's nothing really happening. Could this be the case? Is it because of what? I might actually do this by hand now. Yeah. I am gonna do it by hand. So I'm gonna bake this to the default layer. Gonna save this. And these are all individual polyfaces. Good. I do not want to delete this. But when I'm offsetting everything normal, I would assume, so we're gonna hide this one and hope that nothing breaks. So I want to take all of this and group it and offset surface all of this, and we're gonna do a distance of 1. And this probably takes a bit of time because it runs through all of them. And I do not really know whether, can't I do this in Grasshopper as well? This is the question now. This would be, or this is a good question now. Would be definitely good to know. Could actually look it up quickly. I could actually look it up really quickly. Offset mesh surface Grasshopper. And yes, it did indeed work. The only problem now is that I'm not having the other thing anymore. But there is actually an offset, undoing offset, so now everything is fine again. So I might actually also get rid of not this, apparently. Okay, anyways. Offset surface. Ah, right, there is one. Direction. No, this is the distance and this is the retrim, the distance. So we're gonna plug in this one and we're gonna set the distance to 500 because for whatever reason we're gonna do so. And it's probably gonna be quite a lot. Yes. So we're gonna set it to 1. Maybe we're gonna set it to 5. Okay. It's just offsetting it. It is not offsetting in a way so that we can create a thing out of it. What we could do theoretically as well is we're having this grouped, right? This should be a group. And we're having these. So we could definitely also bake them into layer 2 or something. And then we are gonna, layer 2, we're gonna get rid of layer 1. There we go. And now we take all of them and we're gonna group them, Control G. And then we have it quite. I'm gonna save this shit because I don't want to lose it. And now we have it. So we take this group and we're gonna offset surface it. This time it's gonna be, I think 2, because I want the inside of it to be a bit smaller. So 1. We might also do 3 then. We might also actually do 5 and 3, because let's just do 5. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, with that being said, this is gonna be it, and I'll see you the next time. So